Fire in the hole! Let's cook some chicken! Stay tuned! Hello and welcome once again to my backyard barbecue. What I'm putting down for you today is I've got some chicken here, some chicken thighs and some chicken breasts for the family because they can't stand to have bones or skin on their chicken. I'm going to hit that up with some of this Lane's SPG. Just get that some seasoning on there on the chicken because we don't cook anything that's not seasoned over here. And I got this recipe from my buddy John. You know John, Rivet Gardener. What happened was he cooked this on his channel and I commented on it and I said, boy, that really looks good, you know, I'd like to get some of those Piment de Espellete peppers. Guess what he did? He sent me a jar of Piment de Espellete pepper powder. These are special chilies that are grown in the Basque region of France. Specifically, they go in this dish. We'll be using this a little bit later on today. First, we got to get our chicken on the fire and get a little smoking fire on the chicken. And then we'll get our pot on the fire and we'll get this recipe going. So stay tuned. I got my chicken parts on the grill. We're not trying to cook these through. We just want to get a little smoke and fire on these, just to get a little cook on them before we put them in the pot with the stew, just like that. See how that one is? Just get a little bit of like some of that smoky flavor, some of that fire on those chicken pieces. Like I said, we're not trying to cook them through. We just want to get a little bit of crust on them, a little bit of fire and smoke. Then we're going to get the pot on the fire and make this Basque chicken. So let me get that done and we'll go on to the next step. Stay tuned. Okay, I think you can see in there. That's my cast iron pot is on the fire getting hot. We got some olive oil, cheap olive oil. We don't put the good stuff in the pot to cook veggies with. We use cheap olive oil. We probably should have put some butter in there too, but I didn't. I didn't bring any out here, so we're not using butter. I've got over here some, this is the Cajun Holy Trinity. You've got some bell pepper, red and green, celery, and an onion. We're going to dump that in there into that hot oil and get that cooking. That's the basis of this Basque chicken with Piment de Espellete. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful colors, huh? Oh yeah. Just some roughly chopped bell peppers, some onion, some celery, and some onion, celery, bell pepper. That's it. And now we have about 8 cloves of garlic chopped. None of that cheater's garlic here, John. This is real garlic. Bunch of garlic in there. And we're going to get that cooked up. We got to get these veggies cooked until they're translucent. I want to get a better camera angle for you guys. That's not much of a view there. Let me adjust my camera and finish cooking my veggies. I'll bring you right back. Okay, the veggies are cooked down a bit. Now there's no real fond in this pan because we didn't cook the meat in there. But I'm still going to dump in some Pinot Grigio, about a cup of Pinot Grigio to add flavor. And also, well, it would deglaze the pan if I had cooked the meat in the pan, which I didn't. Now I need to season that a bit. I've got some Himalayan pink salt with thyme and rosemary, and we're going to dump some of that on there. Season our veggies with that. We don't want to over salt it. Don't forget the chicken has salt, pepper, and garlic on it. And we don't want to over salt any of this. And we also need some black pepper, about a tablespoon of black pepper in there, and 2 bay leaves. 2 bay leaves. We'll stir that around in that wine. The alcohol is burned off the wine and left only that beautiful Pinot Grigio flavor behind. Yeah, boy, look at that. Smells good already, let me tell you what. Okay, I think it's time for the it's time for the drilling. It's time for some Piment de Espellete. we're putting about, we need about 3 tablespoons of Piment de Espellete in there. I don't want to put too much, but we do need a good bit of Piment de Espellete. Quite a bit of that in there, because that's the whole flavoring for this dish. Piment de Espellete. I think we're going to need a little bit more than that in there. That was about 2 tablespoons. Let's put about another tablespoon of Piment de Espellete. Espelette peppers. They're a little more mild than jalapenos, but they still have a beautiful smoky, fruity flavor. So okay, our veggies are very soft. So now we need some tomatoes, and what I got is, let me show you. Get the top off this can. This is, oh, there goes the top. This is San Marzano whole tomatoes. So we're going to dump them in there. This can of San Marzano tomatoes. If you've never had San Marzano tomatoes, they're amazing. I got to take my potato smasher and mash those tomatoes up a bit. Now my mother used to have a thing that she would put the tomatoes in to get the seeds out of it, but I'm not getting the seeds out of it. I'm just mashing up the tomatoes because they're whole tomatoes. You want to mash them up a bit? Oh man, this is making my mouth water. Let me tell you what. And the smell of that, with that wine in there, is just amazing. So we've got the tomatoes in there. We're going to let that cook a little while with that pimento pepper, the Espelette pepper. I'm going to taste that. I got to give that a taste to see how it tastes, to see if there's too much. Taste again. I think we can put a little bit, oh wait a minute. Oh, that stuff's got an afterburn to it. Woo! Okay, we got enough Piment de Espellete there, John, I think. The next thing we're going to do is let this stew a bit, and then we'll put the chicken back in and just let this whole thing cook. Just let it stew on the pot for about an hour, maybe, or more, until the chicken is cooked through. So let me get that all stirred up, and I'll bring you back when we put the chicken back in. Stay tuned. Okay, the tomatoes and peppers have been stewing on there a while. What we're going to do now is put the chicken back in there with that smoky barbecue flavor on them, and they already have salt, pepper, and garlic on them. Another piece of chicken there. Piece of boneless, skinless for my wife, because she can't stand to have a bone or skin. Some more of that. Get another piece of thigh meat in there. This big piece of thigh meat right here. Get that nestled down in there. And there you go. Let's put the juices back from that chicken that was on the plate. Oh man. And there it is. All that's got to do now is stew a while. I'm going to stir it just a little bit. I just want to get the chicken, well, I was going to leave the chicken like sticking out a little bit so it could get a little crispy skin, but I'm not worried about it. I'm just going to let that stew just as it is. And put the cover on that and let it cook until the chicken is cooked through. And it'll be time to taste our creation, our Basque chicken with Piment de Espellete peppers. And I tasted that, and I think I got maybe a little too much Piment de Espellete in there, but I think it's going to be good because it's a great flavor. So yeah, all we got to do is I'll probably move that off the hot fire and just let it bubble away for about maybe an hour or two. I don't know, not an hour, I don't know, just till that chicken's cooked. We'll check it with a thermometer. When the chicken gets to 165, we'll take a taste and drink a beer. So stay tuned. My Basque chicken with Espelette peppers is done. Here's today's beer. This is a weird one, a good one. This is Dream State Brewing Company Crew Chief Italian Pilsner, 4.5 alcohol, and I'm pretty sure this is a local brewery here in Fort Lauderdale, Dream State Brewing. Pilsner, an Italian Pilsner. What could that possibly be? Let's find out, Rob. Rob, there's only one way to find out, right, baby? We got to pour that out into my mug, into the Frosty Root Boy mug. Getting it poured out right now. Not making a mess, making a good pour. Nice head on that. Oh yeah, look at that. Came out pretty good. An Italian Pilsner. Now I bought this in the same place I bought last week's beer. But this is a whole different thing. This is a Pilsner, an Italian Pilsner. I can't wait to snuff that. Oh, it smells great. It smells great. It smells like a Pilsner should. Let's quaff the froth off it, Rob. What do you think? Ah, that's the perfect beer to go with my chicken d'Espelette peppers. And I've got some nice crusty French bread to eat with it. Let me turn the camera around and get some of this in my mouth. Stay tuned. Okay, my Basque chicken with Espelette peppers is done. Doesn't that look good? I've got some nice crusty French bread to dip in that sauce. Got some of that chicken on my fork. Can't wait to eat this. That is sublime. When John made his, he served it over rice. And I thought, he's missing the perfect opportunity to get some nice crusty French bread and dip in that sauce. Oh. That's like heaven to me. Oh man. That's delicious. Let me tell you what. I may have put don't tell my old lady. I gotta need a swig of beer. I may have put a tad too much of that pepper in there, but it's good. It's got a beautiful flavor. Thank you for the pepper, John. That stuff is amazing, delicious. And just thank you for the recipe. Thank you for being who you are. You're one of the greatest cooks on YouTube, I gotta tell you. You know what I always say? He's the best kept secret on YouTube. John Rivet Gardner. Go check him out in the iCard right there. Subscribe to me, the Root Boy Cooks. Come back next week. I don't know what we're cooking next week. We might do a collaboration with John, maybe. We'll see. Anyway, hey, I gotta show you my hat. I gotta turn my hat around. Check out my new hat. I want the green bastard to see this. Can you see that? GB? NCR, baby. Representing. NCR. Okay, babies. We'll see you next week. Bye.